Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting, Jim Goodman. And we're going to take a look at the all-stakes pick 4 on the Saturday card at the fairgrounds, headlined by the Grade 2 Risen Star, a prep on the road to the Kentucky Derby. So we'll start with the Daisy Divine on the turf. It's their 8th race, Jim, and I thought a fairly well-matched group. How did you shake that one out?
Yeah, I thought it was well matched because the two horses that I wound up on ran very close to each other last time out. Street of Gold and Ms. Money. Those are my top two choices, and I really couldn't separate them because they did run right together on a good turf course back in the Krantz Memorial on January 16th. And Ms. Money came back and didn't run that great in the Mardi Gras a couple weeks ago, but Street of Gold ran really well that day. It was very consistent, and Brad Cox is only 37% trainer at fairgrounds, so you've always got to put him into a pick 4. But I also went with a couple other horses here that I think have a shot. I went 5 deep here for the pick 4, so I used Ms. Money the 1, Street of Gold the 3, Fall Filer the 5, simply because Grand Motion and Joe Bravo and first race over in America, back in October, got a 90 buyer up against a real tough field, and then came back and didn't much like the yielding turf at Churchill in November. So hopefully the rain will stay away from fairgrounds. He'll have a firm turf to run on, she will. And Pink Poppy for Orange Giroux. As we go through here, Giroux has a chance to have a huge day on Saturday. He's got a lot of live mounts, and I would give this filly a shot. Got stopped in the stretch last time out in Sunshine Millions at Gulfstream in a $150,000 race, so she's certainly got a shot with her best. And then Note de Oro, the 10 for Christophe Clement, loves fairgrounds, 3 for 4. 5 for 16 lifetime, but 3 of the wins have come at fairgrounds, so you got to take that horse. I'll go 5 deep in here. 1, 3, 5, 6, 10. My pick, if you made me pick one, would be Street of Gold, the 3 for Robbie Alvarado.
I am using almost the same horses. I'm using the 9 instead of the 10, Cash Control. I looked at the 2 races last fall, and I thought that she really ran well on the turf, and now she's getting back to it. Looked like had some trouble last time, and the trainer Cox, 38% on the dirt to turf angle here. So I like both of his horses in the Daisy Divine. I'm going to take Cash Control if I pick a win bet, but I'm going to use all 5 in the pick 4. And I'm going to single in the next leg, which is the Grade 2 Rachel Alexandra stage play. 3-year-old filly's going a mile and a 16th. She's 3 for 4 in her career. Second start off a layoff, so she ought to be better. She was so good last fall at Keeneland and then Churchill, and I just think she's a really nice filly. So I'm going to key on stage play and spread out in other races. There are a couple of 12-to-1s in there, the 1 Shaken, the 5 Lemon Drop Bell, that I think could be interesting prospects in the second hole of an exacta and help it pay a little better. But stage play, I am going to single in the Rachel Alexandra. How about you?
Yeah, I'm right with you. I think the coolest thing about stage play, and there may not be a precedent for this. If you're a stats guy, you look at all kinds of weird things like baseball stats. I don't know if any filly has ever won the Rags to Riches at Churchill, the Silver Bullet Day at Fairgrounds, and the Rachel Alexandra at Fairgrounds. There's 3 stakes races named for 3 outstanding fillies. So she's going for the 3-peat or the kind of a triple crown. I just saw that in her past.
The Hall of Fame triple crown.
Yeah, that's right. She looks so good in her first race off a little bit of layoff at fairgrounds, and I just think she's a standout in here. The horse that I think that could give her a little bit of trouble is a little bit of a question mark. She didn't run well in Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, but she was up close and then just had a little trouble. Went off at 55-to-1 is Forever Darling. Richard Baltus ships her here from Santa Anita. So she ran well in her stakes race at Santa Anita, but this is a step up for her. She's never been fairground. So I would think stage play is a standout here, and I would single her as well in pick 4.
10th race is the Grade 3 Fairgrounds Handicap at about a mile and an eighth on the turf. Chocolate Ride, the defending champion here. Who did you land on?
I like Chocolate Ride. Again, Brad Cox, 37%. Giroux has another live mount here, and he loves fairgrounds, 5 for 6 at fairgrounds. So 5 of his 6 lifetime wins have been here. Ran back-to-back last year. In this race, he got a 102 buyer and came back in the Marvin Muniz on Louisiana Derby Day and ran another 100 buyer. So he's going to get the lead here. There's not much doubt about that. And I think he's got enough to hang on. I think he's the speed of the speed. the horse, I would not single him in this particular pick four, but I am going to play a pick four where I single stage play and Chocolate Ride, and then go very deep in the other two, maybe all even. But I would use Roman Approval, the 3 from Mike Maker here, who only ran 3/4 length behind Chocolate Ride. So obviously he's right there in the same category, and likes Fairgrounds. That was his first time at Fairgrounds, and he ran well in the Bradley. I would also use Departing just on back class for Al Stahl, the 7 horse, and that's probably as deep as I would go in here. I think 3 deep covers you in here. The other horse that I would use if you've got a little bit of extra money would be Barp for Joe Sharp, who, again, if you look at the Chocolate Ride race, he had a little bit of a wide trip. He's getting better. The last 3 buyers are 86, 91, 94. And so he's a length and a quarter behind Chocolate Ride. So if somebody were to give Chocolate Ride a little bit of a tussle on the front end, maybe Wireless Future for Lannery possibly, or Pumpkin Rumble. So Barp could pick up the pieces there, and he's going to be coming from way out of it. So if you went with a little bit extra money, I'll go 3, 6, 7, 8 in here.
Yeah, I think the 6 is hard to beat. I am going to try to beat him with the 8, though, just for the reasons you said. The steady improvement since going into Joe Sharp's barn a few starts back, and then had a little trouble last time, still ran well. And I think for the price, it could certainly spice up the pick 4. And I think Blarp could win this at a decent price. I'd want to use him in exactas with Chocolate Ride, Roman Approval, and Pumpkin Rumble intrigued me a little bit, just as a horse that really ran big last time and 12-1 on the morning line, so could definitely spice up the exotics. But for the pick 4, I would use Blarp and Chocolate Ride for sure. If you can go one more, I'd take Pumpkin Rumble just to throw that nice price in there. If you want to go one more deep, then Roman Approval would be my next one, but I'd feel comfortable just taking a stand with Chocolate Ride and Blarp for a little bit of an upset. The 11th race is the Grade 2 Risen Star, and you've got a big full field here. Nice betting race. Mo Tom looked good last time. Aero Force, a favorite, making his 3-year-old debut. I read where Mark Cassey was really talking confidently. Horse was ready, but not wild about the 10-hole. Never been on fast dirt yet. I'm going to try Gunrunner. I like the 6-1 on the morning line. There's your guy, Florent Giroux, in the saddle. First time. I like that move. Source had an 84 buyer in his first 2-turn start, and I thought that was a noteworthy improvement last October at Keeneland, that he really improved when he was stretched out around 2 turns. And then the thing that clinched it was just the workout pattern. He had a bullet work on February 1st, and you don't see many bullet works for Steve Asmussen. Followed it up with another really sharp 6 furlongs, and then the nice, slow, easy half. That's the typical Asmussen move for the final installment in a workout pattern. So I'm going to take Gunrunner. That would be my pick for the win in the race and to key on and exactas. As far as the pick 4, my next one would be would be Aero Force. Then the next one would be Mo Tom. And then at that point, it's, if you want to go deeper, maybe my next one might be Uncle Walter, the 12, although that's a bad post. The 8, Tom's Ready. The 11, Zapparini, I think could hit the board. I'm not sure could win, but it could hit the board at a price. So it's kind of what your budget allows. But for my ticket, I'll take Gunrunner, Aero Force, and Mo Tom. How about you?
I agree with you. Aero Force obviously has a lot of upside, and if he does take to the dry dirt instead of the sloppy track he caught at Churchill, he's going to be tough to handle. Mo Tom, seems like every Uncle Mo has a shot, and he's gotten better. He won the LeCompte by 2 1/4 and went fairly easy over a couple others that were in here, Thomas Ready and Uncle Walter. And I did toss Uncle Walter because of 12-hole. The other horses that I would use Mo Tom the 2, Gunrunner the 6, Aero Force the 10. I'd also throw in a couple of horses at a price in here, and both of them are 15-1 morning line. Dolphus is an interesting horse to me. I've been watching him since his maiden breaker when he's a brother to Rachel Alexandra. And although his numbers aren't that great, he's a grinder, and he's always there. He's run 3 races. He's got some upside. He's run all 3 at Fairgrounds, so he's right at home. Work pattern is decent. Joe Sharp's a good trainer, and the horse has obviously got great breeding. And I think 15-1 is a very generous price if you can get that on him here at a shot. And the other one is the unknown from the West Coast. I always wonder about people shipping in horses from the West Coast, and this horse just broke its maiden, Bistraya, but they thought enough of him to run him in the Best Pal in August of last year, and although he ran up the track, He ran with Nyquist and Swipe and Annie's Candy. And it's come back this year and run a really good race at the end of the year at Del Mar. Didn't break his maiden, but came back and broke his maiden with 87 buyer at Santa Anita. They don't ship across country just for the fun of it. So I think that, they're taking a shot with this horse, and they caught a spot here that has a couple of standouts, but he looks as good as some of the others in the year. So I would throw him in. So I would use 2, 3, 4, 6, 10 in the pick 4. So my pick 4 would be a $50 ticket, which is 1, 3, 5, 6, 10 in the first leg. Singling the 8-horse stage play in the second, 3, 6, 7, 8 in the third leg with 2, 3, 4, 6, 10. I believe that comes out to $50.
I'm going to go 1, 3, 5, 6, 9 in the first leg, single the 8, then 8, 6, 4 in the third leg, and 6, 10, 2. So that's 5 by 1 by 3 by 3, and for $1, $45 ticket. And throw out some other names if you want to go a little deeper. You have options, but to keep it under $50, I will take a stand there. Any special events coming up for contests, Jim?
We have at Red Mile, what we're doing, we're changing a little bit. We're doing a Friday night contest on turfways races and what other tracks we're covering. So Friday night this week it will be Delta Downs, the last 4 races at Santa Anita, the last 2 races at Golden Gate, Penn National, and one other. There's five tracks involved, but basically it's Turfway and the other night tracks, anything between 6 and 10 p.m. We've cut the price to $25. We've got some other things going on at Red Mile, so we don't have a private room to put them in, but they can come out and register, go in the main area or in wagers, and do what they want to on food. They can go down to 1101 Cafe and order their food, or they can go to wagers and get some sandwiches. So the price is only $25. We're going to put 100% back in the prize pool. So if we have our typical 140 players, you're looking at $3,500. So first place is at least $1,500 for $25, and you can play the handicapping contest. And we're going to do it every Friday now through the last Friday in March.
That's at simulcasting at the Red Mile, and you can also, if you can't get there, play at KeenelandSelect.com. For Jim Goodman, I'm Todd Leach. That's the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.